Greetings, lovers of mysticism and the unknown. Welcome to the Incredible Stories channel. We are explorers of the unexplainable and unbelievable. Today, I will tell you an interesting story. Brew up some goodies and enjoy. Unidentified flying objects, or UFOs, have been the subject of legends for centuries. People from coast to coast and continent to continent continue to claim that they have seen a saucer-like object in the sky, or that their dog has been absolutely abducted by aliens. With all the truly incredible information that surrounds UFOs, it can be hard to discern the facts in a sea of fiction. Fortunately, we're here to help you uncover all the UFO facts out there once and for all. So buckle up for some seriously creepy stuff. Project Blue Book was a systematic study of UFOs by the U.S. Air Force, according to the National Archives. From 1947 to 1969, Project Blue Book did its best to investigate every UFO sighting to determine if it posed a threat to national security. Although most of the 12,618 sightings could be attributed to weather phenomena, the government admits that 701 cases were never resolved by the task force. Despite vigorous investigation, Thomas Mantell, an experienced World War II fighter pilot and member of the Kentucky Air National Guard, crashed and died while pursuing a UFO in January 1948. When the incident occurred, a New York Times article about the pilot noted that there had previously been reports of a flying saucer in the Kentucky area, which led Mantell to his fruitless and ultimately fatal pursuit. To this day, the circumstances that led to his crash are still being disputed by the public and the military. Colleagues from the Kentucky National Guard, who were also searching for UFOs that day, also could never properly determine what exactly they were chasing. Some scientists speculate that it might have been a meteosonde, but the thing is, we'll never really know. In 1947, American pilot Kenneth Arnold reported seeing very bright lights hovering near his plane during a business trip to Yakima, Washington. Arnold told the Bellingham Herald that 9 lights were flying in a V formation at about 1,400 miles per hour. These incredibly fast flying objects have never been explained, and it was Arnold's description of the encounter, saucers bouncing on water, that led to the term flying saucer in conjunction with UFOs. In 1980, members of the U.S. Air Force stationed near London reported seeing a series of strange lights coming from nearby Rendlesham Forest. According to the BBC, several troops reported that they first assumed it was a downed plane in the woods. As they got closer, they discovered that it was an otherworldly craft that was emitting beams of light coming through the woods. In the days that followed, many other Air Force officers came forward to corroborate these claims, stating that the glow from this mysterious plane produced an impressive light show for several hours, without any obvious indication that the light might have come from another source. The area near London has since become known as Roswell, England. On the night of December 5, 1948, 2 separate flight crews, one from the U.S. Air Force, reported seeing a giant green fireball east of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Unrelated crews reported the mysterious fireball to authorities. One crew reported that at times the fireball seemed to come straight at the plane, causing the pilot to swerve to avoid it, according to the Nuclear Communications Project. Since this initial incident, many other green fireball incidents have been reported in New Mexico and beyond, but none have been fully explained. The alleged UFO crash site near Roswell, New Mexico has attracted thousands of tourists to the area since the incident allegedly occurred in the summer of 1947. Nevertheless, the actual events surrounding the infamous Roswell UFO crash are still very much up for debate. Although Brigadier William Brazel described the discovery of a disc-shaped UFO on his ranch, the military reported that what Brazen discovered was simply an experimental weather probe. Moreover, the city of Roswell's official website notes that there was debris and body recovery and military cover-up. Or at least that's what some people believe. In February 1942, soldiers stationed about 120 miles from Los Angeles spotted an unidentified flying craft that appeared and disappeared from view, thinking it might be an enemy plane. This was in the middle of World War II. After all, the United States military plunged the entire city of Los Angeles into darkness to be able to better detect the plane, according to the Smithsonian Journal. As the blackout ensued, Police were inundated with reports of unidentified flying objects sighted around town. Because of the stress of the event, 5 people died of heart attacks and car accidents. After the city returned to its normal state, authorities said what the soldiers saw was a weather balloon, not an enemy fighter jet or UFO. In 2009, the Pentagon began a top-secret mission called the Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program. Before it ended in 2012, several government officials, including then Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, were tasked with examining previous claims of UFO sightings, according to Politico. When it was formed, the main goal of the project was to debunk these claims of extraterrestrial life and instead investigate whether these mysterious sightings could be attributed to covert Soviet activity or other potential threats to American security. All information relating to this top-secret investigation was disclosed by Luis Elizondo, the career intelligence officer who led the initiative, after his resignation. To date, the exact results of their investigations have not been made public. Yes, that's right, even the world's most sparsely populated continent has reportedly caught glimpses of extraterrestrial life. In 1965, military officials from 3 different countries, Argentina, Britain, and Chile, reported seeing red, blue, and green lights flickering and sweeping across a distant patch of sky, according to the National Investigative Committee on Aerial Phenomena. Troopers also recorded significant magnetic changes in their geomagnetic instruments, leading them to question what else could be done in such remote parts of the world. To this day, officials still cannot explain the source of these alleged UFOs. Founded in 1974, Heaven's Gate was an American religious UFO cult based near San Diego, California. In 1997, police discovered the bodies of 39 members of the cult who had committed suicide to leave this world and travel to another world that they believed contained extraterrestrial life. They timed their suicides to take place after a rare viewing of the comet Hale-Bopp because they allegedly believed a UFO would follow the comet to lead them to a higher plane of existence, according to the New York Times. Since the 14th century, many ancient paintings have contained objects that can be compared to modern UFOs. Throughout the centuries, scholars have noted the presence of flying saucers in paintings, such as the Annunciation with Street Immedius from 1486, pictured above, and the Crucifixion of Christ from 1350, in which visible flying UFOs hover next to Jesus' head, according to The Sun. Although the Bible includes several references to potential UFOs, it is the one in the book of Ezekiel that generated the most interest. The story is told in chapter 1, verse 4. "And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north. A great cloud, and fire was kindled, and a glow was around it, and from the middle of it, like the color of amber from the middle of the fire." And the source of this so-called whirlwind is still debated. In ancient Rome, the philosopher and historian Titus Livius once claimed in his historical text, Ab Urb Condita, that many people saw ghost ships haunting the skies of the city for years on end. Although this is a rather vague observation, many historians believe it to be the first official UFO sighting in recorded history, since the first widely publicized report of an alien abduction in 1961, in which a New Hampshire couple named Barney and Betty Hill claimed to have been abducted by aliens. Those who claim to have been abducted have been met with a heavy dose of skepticism. Nevertheless, it happens on a regular basis. Nicolas Dumont, a French psychologist who specializes in people who believe they may have been abducted by aliens, told Deputy he has treated about 100 patients, all French, who have shown signs of abduction. "Often these people tell me that they were awakened in the middle of the night and found themselves paralyzed. They saw non-human beings around them, whether they were at home or in an outside place that might have been a spaceship," Dumont said. "Sometimes they were in both. Some experienced nothing until they woke up at home, thinking it was morning, before realizing that 48 hours had just passed. We call it lost time. It's a very common phenomenon." In an early voyage, Christopher Columbus and members of his crew claimed to have noticed mysterious lights in the sky. According to Swarthmore College, Columbus wrote of this encounter in his journal, describing the mysterious lights as a small wax candle that rose and rose upward, which to few seemed a sign of land. In the years when the 1492 journal entry was discovered, many scholars tried to explain the observation, arguing that the lights could be attributed to bioluminescence and nearby fires from fishermen or native peoples, although the supposed windy conditions that night indicated to many that these explanations were impossible. In 1639, the governor of the Massachusetts colony, John Winthrop, reported that members of the colony had been abducted by a mysterious light. According to the History Channel, Winthrop wrote about the event in his personal journal, detailing an experience in which numerous unexplained light sources filled the sky. In his diary, Winthrop recorded, "When it stopped, it flashed and was about 3 square yards. As it ran, it was compressed into the shape of a pig." As these mysterious points of light filled the sky, Winthrop claimed that settlers lost track of time, and that 3 people who were sober and careful disappeared after trying to follow these light sources that ran as fast as an arrow, darting back and forth between them and another nearby village. In 1946, more than 2,000 people in Sweden reported seeing ghost rockets, or spökräkor in Swedish, between the months of May and December. This is a picture of one of them above. Not only that, but about 200 unidentified flying objects have been spotted on radar in Sweden and neighboring countries, according to the National Air Phenomena Investigation Committee. After the incident, the Swedish Army instructed newspapers to refrain from revealing specific details of the case. And for years since the mysterious objects were spotted, the government has remained largely quiet about the event. During a live broadcast from space in 2016, a number of unidentified flying objects were spotted around the International Space Station, Fox News reported. What's more, one video even cut exactly when the object was front and center on the tape. Although scientists explained that the objects were probably planets or moons, and NASA said the system shut down due to normal signal loss, some people are still not convinced. Right. Some aspects of the 1977 science fiction movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind are actually based on UFO sightings. According to UFO Experience, a scientific study by Joseph Allen Hynek, one of the film's most memorable scenes, in which UFOs cause motorists to lose power in their cars, took place in Levelland, Texas, in 1957. In the actual Levelland case, there were 15 witnesses, including police officers, who reported seeing bright lights and objects moving across the landscape. Each witness reported that as the lights approached motorists, cars lost power on the road. Many scientists and skeptics placed the blame for what happened on a ball lightning or thunderstorm. According to the History Channel, the Men in Black movie series was based in part on true events. In 1947, Harold Dahl is reported to have seen 6 donut-shaped obstacles hovering over Puget Sound in Washington state. Dahl claimed that the mysterious objects came close enough to harm his son and kill his dog. After the strange event, Dahl said a man in black came to visit him and told him the event could be attributed to extraterrestrial life. The man told Dahl never to reveal a word of their conversation to the outside world. Of course, Dahl eventually did. From this early Man in Black story came the sci-fi comedy thriller Men in Black, starring Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. What did you think of it? Write in the comments. Be sure to get likes, subscribe to our channel, and check out other amazing stories.